I'm back, folks. RFG is back at it today. You know, they tried to silence the message, but you know, I'm not gonna let that shit happen. All right. Now, I had so many points, and just so much information, you know, that they just didn't want anybody to hear. So they bugged the audio software in my laptop. But I'm back today, and I'm actually glad they did it because I have more information now than I had yesterday. So I'll be able to, you know, give a much more detailed, better lecture. Okay, this video is going to be on the Pluto and Scorpio generation, which are the true chosen Indigo children. Okay, this is going to be on the true Indigo children, the Pluto and Scorpio generations on this earth. The last Pluto and Scorpio generation that we had was 1983, November of 1983 to November of 1995. Okay, if you were born from November of 1983 to November of 1995, you are part of the Pluto and Scorpio generation. You are, you know, part of the true Indigo children, the chosen generation, to completely alter the perception of reality on this earth as we know it. All right. Now I'm just going to give you guys a little history lesson. Okay. But, you know, before that, I'm going to show you what the professional astrologers and, you know, astronomers are saying about this Pluto and Scorpio generation. Now, when I talk about Pluto and Scorpio, I'm talking about the planet Pluto perfectly aligning with the Scorpio star constellation. Okay, and this takes place every 236 years. Every 236 years, the planet Pluto perfectly aligns with the star constellation of Scorpio. All right, and you know, before I get started, I just want to say Scorpio was originally the phoenix. It was not a scorpion, according to our Vedic ancestors in East India and in Sumeria. The scorpion was originally the phoenix. Okay, that's what it really is. All right, so we're just going to read this general synopsis of, you know, what kind of impact this Pluto and Scorpio generation is supposed to have on society. All right. Okay, so right here says those born between November 1983 to November of 1995, as the planet Pluto transitioned the sign of Scorpio, those in the Pluto and Scorpio generation are bringers of radical transformation. Okay? Now, why would the world need radical transformation? That's because Father Time and his minions have humans devolving on this earth instead of evolving, okay, into more sophisticated, spiritually advanced beings. We are spiritually devolving. All right? So Pluto enters Scorpio for 12 to 13 years every 236 years, just to make sure, you know, things are going right on this world called the Earth. Okay, so right here it says, it is really clear to many of us that we, the human collective, are experiencing a dramatic shift in our perception of reality. The way we relate, structure, and create our future reality is undergoing a dramatic metamorphosis. The Pluto and Scorpio generation have come through at this time to help the evolution of the collective consciousness and aid this change in human experience. The Pluto and Scorpio generation carries the exact energetic blueprints required to create a major shift in perception. However, in order for this experience to manifest itself from potential into reality, those in the Pluto and Scorpio generation must undergo a total metamorphosis of their own individual karma, thus activating the direct experiences and spiritual awakenings necessary for this new awareness to be anchored into the collective consciousness and ultimately into our physical lives. Okay, so this is basically saying that the Pluto and Scorpio generation was put back here to completely alter and change the perception, okay, of human awareness on this earth, okay, to basically destroy the foundation of Father Time on this earth, okay, plain and simple, plain and simple. And you see, this is why they had to get our parents on drugs. You know, the generation born from 83 to 95, they had to get our parents hooked on crack, you know, cocaine, and involved in gangsterism and thuggery, you see. So, you know, them being our parents, that would throw us off track. But see, this is what the Zionists didn't know. No matter what they did to our parents, okay, you can't stop destiny, okay? For all of the warlocks, the Jesuit Zionist warlocks, you can't stop destiny. So even though you put our parents on drugs and you got our parents involved in a low vibrational, you know, gangster lifestyle, it was still destiny for their children, okay, to come into the collective consciousness and receive the light codes, okay, to help change the perception of reality on this earth and to usher in a new age, okay? Now, this new age is being ushered in, and the Zionists are going to start their new world order, okay? So our generation incarnated on this earth to go against the Zionist establishment, okay, caused that to fall so Atlantis and Kemet could be reborn. So we could basically cause Atlantis to rise again. All right? That's the significance of this this generation right here, this Pluto and Scorpio generation. And I'm going to be doing some showing and some proving, because, you know, there's a lot of people out there who think that this zodiac information is just some hocus pocus bullshit. Well, we're going to be doing some showing and some proving today. All right. So when we do the research, okay, 236 years ago, or no, double that, 472 years ago, we had Pluto and Scorpio. And I believe that was 1499. In 1499, Pluto entered Scorpio, okay? And that was around the same time that the Moors were falling out of Spain and were falling and were expelled out of Europe, because there was a great rebellion. There was a great rebellion in Europe when Pluto was in Scorpio in the late 1400s. Okay? You see? And the chosen people of the earth, they fell. They fell. Okay? And part of this reason why our ancestors, the Moors, fell out of Europe, that's because the Moors in Europe were not using their black magic. They weren't using the alchemy, the dark alchemy. They weren't using the voodoo. They weren't using the Hika. Okay? They got involved in a mundane hand-to-hand combat and got out strategized. Okay? Because they didn't tap into the forces of dark matter. They didn't tap into the unseen forces. All right? So this is the first time that I looked over where Pluto was in Scorpio, okay? And that generation grew up to be part of a major rebellion. A major rebellion, okay? So let's look at this right here. Right here. You see? This is Toussaint Louverture. All right? Now, Toussaint Louverture was born in 1744. 1743. All right, 1743. And Pluto was in Scorpio from 1735 to 1747. Okay? And Toussaint Louverture was born in 1743. And this individual right here grew up to command the army that was responsible for conducting the greatest rebellion of all time. Toussaint Louverture was part of a Pluto and Scorpio generation. He was born in 1743. This is all documented evidence in history. And he grew up to conduct the greatest revolution in history. Okay? So let me explain. I posted on Instagram a few days ago. In 1743, Toussaint Louverture was born. This man grows up to fulfill his destiny by defeating the British, French, and Spanish armies that invaded Haiti. Toussaint Louverture pulled off the greatest series of revolutions of all time. Most of the European colonists who were born from 1735 to 1747 grew up to eventually start the revolution against Britain. But those colonists were deceived. The United States has always been a colony and a corporation owned by Britain. Okay? So even though, it says on the books that the colonists defeated Britain, George Washington deceived those colonists because George Washington gave them the illusion that they were fighting for independence. But George Washington was a free Masonic member. Okay? And he was in bed with, and in the pockets of the British monarchy. Okay, so his job was to deceive the colonists and give them the illusion, give them the illusion of liberty and freedom. Okay? That's where you get your democracy bullshit. This is why you have a constitution that was written in 1776 and another one that was written in 1871. Okay? They had to come out with the truth in 1871, stating that if you are a United States citizen, you are just property, of the British monarchy. Okay? This is factual evidence. Pluto was in Scorpio from 1735 to 1747. The children born from 1735 to 1747, they grew up to conduct the revolution of Haiti, and they grew up to take part in the Revolutionary War, people. The Pluto and Scorpio generation, they were part of the Moors being thrown out of Spain and Europe. That rebellion. Aren't you seeing this? Aren't you getting it? You better start waking up, because this shit right here is no joke. It's not an illusion. This is factual, documented evidence that you can look at for yourself. Okay? So I also put in this post I put on Instagram, the colonists did not fulfill their destiny because they didn't realize their actions were being dictated by Freemasons such as George Washington. November of 1983 to November of 1995, the planet Pluto enters Scorpio again. This generation is destined to uncover all hidden agendas by world governments and to grow into the knowledge of what it really is to be human. Okay? Part of our destiny is to grow into the knowledge of what it really is to be human. Our Pluto and Scorpio generation will build a new Kemet and cause the civilization of Atlantis to rise again. The Pluto and Scorpio generation is also destined to completely alter the perception of reality on this earth and to rebuild society after the Zionist empire falls. Our Pluto and Scorpio generation will rise from the ashes just like the great phoenix after the capitalist system falls. Okay? And we will cause the greatest rebellion and shift in consciousness in human existence. And this time, we will not stop until every parasite is removed from power. Okay? Okay? That's why they cut the goddamn audio in my last video. That's why they did it. Okay? Because I'm over here putting the pieces together, man. Okay? The last Pluto and Scorpio generation that was born, you know, that generation grew up to conduct the greatest rebellion of all time, defeating the French, Spanish, and British armies, the three most powerful armies on the earth at that time. Okay? Why don't they teach this in schools, people? Why don't they teach this in their miseducation system? You see? They want us to think that the colonists have, you know, all the power on the earth, have the most power on the earth. They want us to think that artificial technology is power. They want us to think that artificial technology is the power, when really, if you can control dark matter by tapping into Hika, voodoo, and alchemy, you can become invincible. All right? You can start controlling shit with your heart and your mind. Okay? You can cause people to get sicknesses and to leave this earthly realm. Okay? You can do that just by conducting rituals. All right? Okay? And the colonists didn't understand this. And part of this reason is because this world, this world, okay, this material world is actually ruled by Venus. What is Venus? What does Venus represent? Ooh, that looks good. Ooh, that smells good. That tastes good. That feels good. You see what I'm saying? That's Venus. That's the fucking illusion. What does Pluto and Scorpio rule? Pluto and Scorpio rules the opposite of that. Going past the surface, digging deep, and looking past the surface and seeing what things are on the inside, dealing with inner demons and inner trauma. Okay? It said that the Pluto and Scorpio generation, we were going to be incarnated into this world, and we were going to have to grow up dealing with a lot of trauma and past life karma. Okay? So to cause this Pluto and Scorpio energy to reach its full potential, we're going to have to use our traumatic experiences in our lives as fuel. You understand? We're going to have to use those traumatic experiences of abandonment, abuse, and neglect, okay? We're going to have to use that abandonment, abuse, and neglect as fuel for our lives. Okay, we're going to have to use our demons for fuel. We're going to have to tap into the dark matter. Yeah, Pluto and Scorpio, it rules dark matter. Things that are unseen. It rules the microverse. Let me repeat that. Pluto, the planet Pluto, the energy that comes from it, it rules the microverse. Things that are all powerful, but we cannot see with the physical eye. You see? But we can sense it with our third eye. You see, Venus rules everything we can see with our physical eyes. You see? And we came back to shatter that shit, to destroy the goddamn illusion that is being controlled and manipulated by Saturn, the moon, and Venus. We came and incarnated to destroy Father Time's paradigm on this earth. All right? That's why we came back. Okay? Because I believe, shit, we could have been the generation that was part of the Haitian Revolution. We could have been the same people who took part in the so-called Revolutionary War, okay, 1776. We could have been that generation. We could have been the generation, okay, that, you know, were involved in the Moors being overthrown from Spain. That could have been us. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this time around, we can't take no prisoners, and we cannot stop until all parasites are removed from power. All right? Because I'm gonna hit you with something profound here. Every time these Pluto and Scorpio babies, when they grow up, when the planet Pluto enters Capricorn, that's when the rebellion starts. Let me repeat. When these Pluto and Scorpio babies, when they grow older, when Pluto enters Capricorn, that's when the great rebellion starts. As Pluto leaves Capricorn and enters Aquarius, that's where the goddamn revolutions start. Go do the research. Okay? So what does this mean? What does this mean, ladies and gentlemen? This means that the Pluto and Scorpio generation, born from 83 to 95, our rebellion is going to be from 2021 to 2024. How do I know this? 2021 to 2024, those are the last 3 years. Those are the last 3 years of Pluto and Capricorn. Okay? What is Capricorn? Government structure, order, law. Okay? Ruled by Saturn, government, structure, order, practicality. Okay? Rules, regulations, discipline. Okay? All the things that deal with government structure. Pluto's last 3 years in Capricorn are going to be 2021 to 2024, and Pluto will be destroying all of the foundations of Capricorn from 2021 to 2024. So that's when all hell, all so-called hell, will be breaking loose and wreaking havoc on Father Time society over this earth. Okay? The Zionist society is going to be under attack from 2021 to 2024. Okay? That's when it's all going to be crumbling down. All right? So I gave you the dates, and you can check the dates for yourself to see it for yourself. When these Pluto and Scorpio generations, when they get older, their rebellions start with the last years Pluto are in Capricorn. Okay? You see, they had to scare us from the only objects and the only practices that can save our souls. The Zionist warlocks had to spookify the only practices that can be used to stop our souls from reincarnating. So they had to scare us from the dark cat. They had to scare us from the serpent. Because, you see, these practices were used, these practices of voodoo, Hika, and alchemy, they were used to defeat their armies. You see? You see? You see, this is why the masculine aspect of Lucifer is our God. You see? Because with that energy, we can overthrow their empire. We can overthrow them. Okay? Toussaint Louverture, Pluto and Scorpio generation, defeated the British, the French, and the Spanish armies. Okay? That's why they had to scare us from this. Because this can defeat them. Don't you get it? There are voodoo witch doctors that can walk through fire. Okay? That can make it rain by doing certain rituals. That can cause tornadoes by doing certain rituals. Okay? That can give people sicknesses and diseases just by collecting one of their items or a piece of their body with their DNA on it. Okay, and can conduct a ritual and put a curse on the person for years. Okay? You see what I'm saying? That Jesus shit is imaginary. That Jesus shit is fairy tale fantasy compared to this. Okay, so we got to touch into the dark alchemy, the dark magic. Okay, I don't say black anymore, because black is really a light color and white is really a dark color. So I'm not even going to say that anymore. I'm going to say dark alchemy, dark magic, dark alchemy. Okay, dark Hika. Okay, this is what we Pluto and Scorpio generation, this is what we're going to have to tap into. And you see, this is why NASA had to come up with the lie and say that Pluto is not a planet. They said Pluto is not a planet because they don't want us to tap into that Pluto energy. Go look up what Pluto energy represents and go look up what the Pluto and Scorpio generations, what kind of energy that they carry. And that's why NASA had to make up the lie and say that Pluto don't exist. Okay? Because I just showed you the dates. Okay? So like I said, there's no argument. You know what I'm saying? You got motherfuckers around here. You got motherfuckers around here that think that our ancestors mummified dead bodies for shits and giggles. You got so-called people who think they're woke that think our ancestors spent 40 days and 40 nights mummifying a body for shits and giggles. When this practice right here, okay, took the blood and the chakra points out of the body, okay, and left the heart in here and the organic material on the body to fool a demonic entity, to make the demonic entity believe that there was still a soul in the body. But the orgone energy left the body after mummification. Okay? So mummification is documented evidence of the practice of alchemy stopping a soul from reincarnating. Okay? Okay? That's the significance. Our ancestors didn't do shit for shits and giggles. Okay? There's mummies on every continent. There's pyramids on every continent. Okay? Our ancestors didn't do shit, didn't do this for no reason. And it wasn't no goddamn green big-headed aliens, okay? If that was the case, we would see the statues of the big-headed green aliens outside of the pyramids, okay? You don't see the statues of the big-headed green aliens. You see the statues of melanated gods, okay? Melanated humanoids. All right? This is deep. This is deep, folks. This is deep. You know what I'm saying? We are the Pluto and Scorpio generation. We are the Pluto and Scorpio generation. And we were put back here to cause Kemet and Atlantis to rise again to overthrow the Zionist empire. Okay? This is why they've tried so hard to dumb us down and to weaken our DNA and to kill us off. All right? Okay? This is how powerful we are. Who was the most powerful X-Men? The most powerful X-Men was a lady named Phoenix. A lady named Phoenix. Hello. The most powerful X-Men, when she enacted her power, she was invincible. The Phoenix, the dark Phoenix. What is the real symbol for the Scorpio, Pluto and Scorpio? It's the Phoenix. It's the Phoenix. We are the chosen generation, the true Indigo children. It's time to wake up. All right. Now, I just got word about what's going on with this situation right here. Okay. There's supposed to be almost 500,000 people signed up on Facebook to be part of this rebellion where they were going to invade Area 51. And they basically said that they can't stop all of us. Okay, that was their quote, that they can't stop all of us. Okay? They're gonna try to invade Area 51, but see, this is where they fucked up. You don't put things like that on Facebook because Facebook is owned and operated, okay, by the CIA. Let me make this very clear. The CIA is in cahoots with the black budget government. The CIA is in cahoots with the black budget government. Go look it up. So anything you put on Facebook as far as a message, a post, whatever, that is being recorded and sent back to a database at the CIA, and it can be shared to these facilities that are owned by the black budget, like Area 51. Okay, so Area 51, those people who work inside of that facility, they probably know all of these 400,000 people, their names, their addresses, their personality types, okay, all of their major information, okay, all you 400,000 people. It's not wise to put your plans for rebellion on a platform like Facebook. Not smart at all. That's why I really don't post shit on Facebook anymore. I don't. I wish I had an easier way to delete my fucking Facebook. Okay? But like I said, this is a wonderful idea. This is a wonderful idea, but it has to be done in a different way. And you can't broadcast that to the world. All right? Because one thing I will say is the black budget government is 60 years ahead of us with technology. And if you go anywhere from a 15 to 20 mile radius from Area 51, these people have pheromone technology where they can sense your pheromone. So basically, if you go within a 20 mile radius of Area 51, they will be able to know that you are a human walking at this speed in this direction based on your scent. Okay? They can sense you and track you through your pheromone scent of your blood in your body. Okay, from 20 miles away. So you wouldn't be able to breach that unless you covered yourself in some kind of other animal blood. Okay? And then after a certain time, that would wear off. So, you know, these people are more than prepared. But like I said, this is what our generation was put back here for. You know what I'm saying? 400,000, okay, ready to invade Area 51. All of these so-called secret military bases, they need to be invaded. All of them. We just got to go about doing it the right way. Okay? So, you know, that's really all I had to say on this topic. I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's The Chosen One, man. I'm out.